Iran just fired a hypersonic missile at Israel, and the most advanced missile defense system America has ever built could not stop it. The Fatah-2 hypersonic glide vehicle slammed into a fortified Israeli Defense Forces command center, killing 7 senior Israeli officers, not wounded, dead, while THAAD interceptors launched into the sky and missed completely. Hit subscribe for more updates. The footage exists. You can watch the interceptors fire upward, chasing empty air, while the Iranian missile continues straight toward its target, hits dead center, impact confirmed. This was not a lucky shot. This was not a malfunction. This was Iran deploying a weapon specifically engineered to make billion-dollar American missile defense systems completely obsolete, and it worked. Every ballistic missile before this one followed a predictable arc, up, over, down, like throwing a ball, where radar tracks the arc, calculates where it lands, and fires an interceptor to meet it. The Fatah-2 does not follow that arc. It uses a hypersonic glide vehicle that climbs, then glides, then maneuvers, changing course mid-flight in both pitch and yaw, while traveling at Mach 15, that is 18,500 kilometers per hour, covering the distance from Tehran to Tel Aviv in under 6 minutes, giving U.S. radar operators only seconds to identify the launch, seconds to calculate a trajectory that keeps changing, seconds to fire interceptors, and seconds to watch those interceptors miss. The missile performs its lateral maneuvers several thousand kilometers above the Armstrong Limit, the altitude at which water boils at human body temperature and you die without a pressure suit, maneuvering in near space where there is virtually no air resistance, where traditional interceptors that rely on aerodynamic fins and control surfaces that push against air simply cannot follow, because above the Armstrong Limit there is no air to push against. That is not a technology gap, that is a physics problem, and physics cannot be solved with a bigger budget. Yuval Bask, vice president of Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, Israel's own defense contractor, the people who build Israel's missile defense, admitted publicly that every air defense system today is based on flying faster than the target, but this principle does not apply to hypersonic missiles, and that to intercept an object moving at Mach 10, you would need a defense moving at Mach 30, which is impossible in the atmosphere due to friction. He compared it to basketball. One interceptor chasing one hypersonic missile is like defending LeBron James with a single player. You may keep chasing him, but you will not stop him from scoring. Israel's own defense contractor admitted they cannot build an interceptor fast enough to catch this weapon. A Chinese research team led by Liao Longwen published a paper on February 28th, the exact same day the U.S. and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, concluding that U.S. missile defenses are dangerously outmatched by hypersonic threats, that high-speed maneuverability and the plasma sheath generated by hypersonic friction make interception extremely difficult, and 3 days later, footage emerged showing Iranian hypersonic missiles penetrating Israeli and American defenses over Tel Aviv. China called it perfectly, published the warning on day 1, and the footage confirmed it on day 4. When the Fatah-2 travels at Mach 15 through the upper atmosphere, the friction generates extreme heat that creates a plasma sheath, a layer of superheated ionized gas that wraps around the warhead, interferes with radar signals, blinds infrared seekers, and makes the missile harder to track with precision exactly when you need precision the most, meaning the same speed that makes the missile nearly impossible to intercept also makes it nearly impossible to track accurately. The weapon hides itself in its own heat. Iran deployed this weapon in combat for the first time on March 1st. The IRGC confirmed during the 17th round of Operation True Promise 4 that hypersonic missiles penetrated THAAD defenses, hitting targets with astonishing speed. At least 3 confirmed Fatah-2 strikes have penetrated U.S. and Israeli defenses, and Western analysts who had been saying for months that the Fatah-2 was not operational, not proven, not ready for combat, were completely wrong. Iran built a working hypersonic weapon and deployed it in combat before most Western intelligence agencies believed it was even operational. Intelligence failed. Iran did not develop this technology alone. Iran first obtained maneuverable re-entry vehicle technologies from North Korea. North Korea began flight testing hypersonic glide vehicles in 2021, and by 2024 had operational systems entering service. While the trajectory and speed of the Fatah-2 impact closely resembles Russia's Oreshnik ballistic missile used against Ukraine, meaning Russia shared the technology, North Korea perfected the design, Iran deployed it in combat, and three countries working in parallel gave Iran a weapon that America thought only Russia and China could build. Simultaneously, Iran is destroying the radar systems that make THAAD work. Satellite images taken March 2nd show a THAAD AN/TPY-2 radar at Muwaffaq Salti Air Base in Jordan, completely destroyed. Two 13-foot craters in the sand, all 5 40-foot trailers destroyed or seriously damaged, a radar costing between $300 million and $500 million, reduced to smoking wreckage. And this base sits over 500 miles from Iran, meaning Tehran reached across 500 miles of defended airspace and destroyed the most expensive radar America deploys in theater. Jordan is not alone. Satellite images show smoke rising from a radar site near Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, and dark markings from apparent strikes on 3 buildings at a THAAD battery near Al Ruwais in the UAE, including a vehicle shed used to store radar systems. Jordan, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Iran is systematically hunting and destroying the specific radar systems that make THAAD function, blinding the entire sensor network first, then firing missiles through the gaps. The economic math favors Iran in a way America cannot sustain. Each THAAD interceptor costs $15.5 million. During the 12-day June 2025 conflict, the U.S. expended over 150 interceptors, burning through $2.325 billion in 12 days and depleting over 25% of America's total global THAAD arsenal. The U.S. currently deploys just 8 THAAD systems worldwide. Iran destroyed the radar for one of them in the first week of this war. And the Fatah-2, estimated at $3 to $5 million per missile, forces America to spend $15.5 million on an interceptor that misses anyway. Iran spends $3 to $5 million, America spends $15.5 million, the Iranian missile hits its target, and the economics favor the attacker. One thing is absolutely certain. Iran deployed hypersonic missiles in combat. THAAD interceptors fired and missed on camera. 7 Israeli officers are dead. $500 million in American radar equipment is destroyed in Jordan. Additional radar infrastructure is burning in Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Chinese researchers predicted this outcome on day 1. Israel's own defense contractor admitted they cannot stop this weapon. Western intelligence failed to predict the deployment. And somewhere in Iran right now, another Fatah-2 is sitting on a mobile launcher waiting for the order. Stay tuned.